I would like you to meet Donnie. This is my little rescue poodle. He is elderly, he has no teeth, and he loves to sit with Mama while I work during the day. So I'm here to talk to you about something very important today, though. On a serious note, I'm here to talk to you about debt. And I'm here to talk to you about the amount of interest that you're paying. And maybe you have a mortgage that has a 3% interest rate on it, or maybe you're refinancing and you're getting a 15-year loan at a 2.5% interest rate. You are still paying a huge volume of interest to the banks. That is a huge tip that is just bleeding out of your household, and it doesn't need to. Or maybe you don't have a mortgage, maybe you have student loans and credit cards and a car loan. Whatever you have, if you are paying interest associated with any debt, you need to listen up. And go back for a moment, and if you're my age or close to my age, you'll remember a time before we had GPSs on our phones. And if we wanted to take a trip across the United States, we had to map it out on our own, or maybe call AAA and get that trip ticket. And that would help us get there in a much more efficient manner, and maybe prevent a few delays made by wrong turns, and save us money on gasoline because we didn't take all those unnecessary detours. And back then, who would have thought that we would now have a GPS on each one of our phones that calculates and recalibrates as we make mistakes and gets us to that destination the fastest way possible, and utilizing the least amount of gas as possible. Well, what if I told you that there is a tool that you could have in your own household that will do the same thing for you with your debt, and that can get you debt free in as little as 1/2 to 1/3 the time that the bank has planned? And it will save you tens to hundreds of thousands of dollars off the bank's plan. This is not hype, and this is just math. It's calculated down to the penny. It is a financial GPS that you can have in your own household. It uses all of the banking principles that the bank uses to make fortunes off of us, such as interest cancellation, interest accumulation, interest float, and strategic payoff. And it puts the power of those principles into your hands. It takes all the concepts of debt avalanche, debt snowball, debt ladder, and calculates and recalculates, taking into consideration your fluctuating income and expenses, and constantly getting you back on course to be debt-free and canceling as much interest as possible. You owe it to yourself to take a look at what I'm talking about. And you may be skeptical, and you probably are, because we aren't taught to think out of the box. We're simply taught to do what we've been taught to do. And this is something that we don't learn in school. But there is a better way. So I challenge you to ask me for a free analysis. There's no obligation, and I can show you a side-by-side analysis of what the bank has planned for you as far as how much interest they're charging you and the date that you would be debt-free. And then next to that, compare it to how much interest you can be saving and when you could be debt-free. You owe it to your family to take a look. And I challenge you not to listen to the naysayers who are not paying your bills and are saying that it doesn't make sense and it's not possible, because it is possible. Think about all of the things that are coming to light during these last months that we've been in lockdown, and coming out of lockdown, depending on where you are living in the United States, but this applies to all of us everywhere. You owe it to yourself to take a look. There's a tool out there that could keep a lot of money in your household and that could change the course of your life. Because once you become debt-free, then you have all of that money that you are paying to debt service to then invest into the future of your family. You can change the course of your family, the course of generations to come, by getting debt-free. Reach out for more information.